Greetings Victorians, it's me, Ludi, and today I'm collaborating with Paradoxinteractive to explain how to change your laws in the 1.8 update for Victoria 3. In this video, you will learn about the laws in update 1.8, a new political movement system, and how it impacts your law changing. There's few nations in Victoria 3 that are more backwards than Japan, which is why the Japanese shogunate makes a perfect guinea pig for today's video. We start with some of the worst laws in the game. Our country is isolated, we don't allow migration, have an abysmal bureaucratic system, a feudal level economic system, and the list goes on. Some of you might be thinking, oh Ludi, but you can just do a fake war and modernize by deleting all the units and leaving only those in the capital. With update 1.8, the states which secede during a civil war can also include your capital. Don't let all this negativity bring you down though. There's still hope with the new political movements. We can bring our nation on the right track. Laws direct the course of your nation in Victoria 3, and based on the laws you can become an industrial powerhouse, an idyllic agrarian society, or even go down more radical paths of communism and fascism. For Japan in particular, even early on, it's harder to change legislation than most nations since the shogunate, which is the landowners, is deeply entrenched, which is why we need to take baby steps towards modernization. A small step we can take is switch from local police to dedicated police, which will lower the political strength of the landowners by 5% and lower radicals from political movements by 5% per level. But that doesn't really help our cause that much. So why are we doing that, Ludi? Well, what we're really doing is waiting. Whilst our law is being enacted, we will be going to the political movements and bolster the newly spawned peasant movement, which has the land reformer ideology. Unlike previous versions, political movements in 1.8 have a core ideology which will endorse and oppose a variety of laws depending on the type of movement and what their goals are. The peasant movement for Japan will allow us to get homesteading enacted, which is the first step towards modernizing Japan. Japan starts with serfdom, which prevents both internal and external migration, as well as it gives a massive 50% political strength boost to the shogunate. Switching to homesteading removes all of that, and it also empowers the peasants, both by giving them ownership of their farms and by boosting their political strength. Each political movement has a percentage support and activism. Support indicates what percentage of our population, wealth, and armed forces back the movement, as well as you can see the expected ceiling for support. Activism is influenced by a nation's laws that the movement disagrees with, which over time will create more members for that movement until said laws get changed. Agitators can also back up movements and will help them grow, as well as movements can pressure interest groups into passing laws or changing leaders to better align with the movement's interests. However, Japan will struggle to get agitators early on due to our restrictive citizenship and church and state laws, so we'll mostly be using bolstering of movements to get first step into modernization. We also start with a very inefficient tax system. Most of our tax is wasted due to a large population and a mix of bad legislation with lack of technology. Spamming government administration buildings is a mistake, however, as you would end up paying more for these buildings and their input goods than you actually get out of the little taxes that they collect. The proper way to fix your taxation issues is by switching to appointed bureaucrats, which gives 25% taxation capacity boost, as well as you switch away from traditionalism, which lowers taxation by another 25%. Getting better tech such as central archives also increases your taxation capacity and allows government administration buildings to use better production methods. But this video is about laws, so we're gonna stick to it. The absolutist movement has absolutism as their core ideology, so after we've passed homesteading with the help of the peasant movement, we can use absolutists to enact appointed bureaucrats, which they endorse, and we can even use this movement to switch to an elective type of distribution of power. Changing from traditionalism is usually done by enacting agrarianism first as Japan, which is possible after researching romanticism and after you've gotten homesteading, since the increase in power of the farmers will allow the Heimin to get into government, and they do endorse agrarianism. Your primary opponent to modernization throughout the entirety of the game is the shogunate, but once you've gained enough momentum and power for the other interest groups, you can peacefully oust the shogunate as long as you can maintain over 50 legitimacy for 10 years, leading to the restoration of the empire and a brand new world to conquer, to be friends with. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and check out these other useful nation videos for Victoria 3 Update 1.8.